Hey there, YouTubes. How's it going? I am on my way to Hunter's Moon in Lafayette, Indiana. And I got some sad news for some, maybe not sad news for others. This is a 2019 Road King special. I named Lucy, as you guys know if you follow my channel. And it's a Milwaukee 8-114. I got a stage 2 with the S&S 475 cam, a Power Vision tune with the wideband sensors, a target tune system from DynoJet, various other little mods that I've done here and there, 14-inch handlebars, different pipes, many different pipes that I've tried. And after the last 2 years, I have yet to fall in love with this bike. There are other bikes that are in my garage, and when I'm at work, I dream about riding them. But I have not once, since I've owned this bike, been to where I could not wait to get off work and come home and ride the Road King. Now the reason for this, there's one reason. The power on this bike is magnificent. Plenty of torque. That 475 cam with the DynoJet tune and target tune system, torque forever. All the way up to redline. The comfort of this bike is amazing. It fits me. The 14-inch bars I put on, my hands are just above my heart and they feel awesome. I got a nice bend in my elbows, my legs are nice and comfortable, I can kick them out if I want to. You know, I do prefer the forward control kind of area with my feet. But the sound is the one thing that keeps me from riding this bike over the others that are in my garage. The Milwaukee 8s have a very distinct sound. They don't have that potato sound that the twin cams had and the Evos had. Well, the Evo is a twin cam, but you know the difference, what I'm saying. The shovel heads, the pan heads, they've got that potato. And even as you're cruising down the highway, you have that potato. The M8s have a raspy, almost Euro bike sound to them, and as you put different pipes and stuff on it, it just gets amplified to being louder. So it's a loud bike, especially with these Tab Performance zombie baffles that I've got running. I mean, it's loud. It gets people's attention. That's not the complaint. The complaint is that it doesn't have that classic Harley sound that's dear and dear to my heart, my specific heart. And I'm not knocking the M8s. I know plenty of people that love them. You know, overall, I really love the bike, but I cannot get past the motor. And you ride what you like. You know, I like that classic sound. And I'm not a dyno numbers chaser. I like a good amount of torque, but if it's not making 130 foot-pounds of torque, it's not going to break my heart either. You know, I've never had this on a dyno, you know, for dyno tunes with a map and a chart. Just the mapping from Fuel Moto, which has worked flawlessly for me. But I'm not a bragger on dyno numbers. And I can put a 110 kit from Fuel Moto with ported heads and a wood 777 cam inside a twin cam and get just as much torque and horsepower as I'm currently getting off of this. You know, depending on the bike, you know, how light it is, because it all plays a factor on it. If I try to do that with a Road Glide that's a twin cam, I'm probably not going to achieve the same amount of butt dyno torque, but if I do it in a Softail, I certainly will. And you know, it also helps that I work on my own bikes. I've done several big bores, changed cams, changed cylinders. I've done nearly everything to a bike that you can do except for rebuild the lower. and rebuild a transmission. So, you know, if I do find a different bike and I want to put a 110 in it, you know, I just save $3,000 or $4,000 of labor potentially, depending who does it. At least $2,000. And I know it's done right to the specifications. So, back to what I was saying. Due to me not being in love with this bike and still having a payment on it, I'm going to go to Hunter's Moon. They've got a used bike that I'm interested in that was at one of their Michigan dealers. And they brought it down for me so I could test ride it. I'm going to check it out, see how it works out. Like I said, I have nothing against the M8s, but it's not for me. I have learned that over the last 2 years. I've tried different types of tuners. I went from a Screaming Eagle tuner to the FP3 and then to the Power Vision. And let me tell you one thing I have learned on that. If you're going to do a stage 2 or higher, the FP3 is not the tuner for you. There's another video that I have that talks about this. And I spent so many hours on the phone with Vance and Hines, them redoing my tunes, sending different tunes to me, doing auto tunes, and it was a choppy ride. It pushed back on me a lot. It didn't feel good. There was no power like I anticipated there would be with a 475 cam. And then I called up Phil Moto. They sent me the Power Vision without the target tune at that point. I added that later with one of their dyno map tunes for a 114 motor with a 475 cam. I loaded it on, and it was a whole new bike. Fixed everything that Vance and Hines FP3 would not fix, even with their support. So on an M8, if you're doing a stage 2, you want to get a hold of Phil Moto for sure. Lesson learned and money spent. Over the course of the last few years, I've had the S&S Sidewinder 2-in-1. I've had Tab Performance 2-in-2s. I've had a D-catted stock head pipe. I've had a D&D. I've had a D&D 2-in-1. Right now this is a Vance and Hines Power Duels. And on slip-ons, I've tried cheapies from Amazon. I've ran Chromeworks. I've had Tab Performance with the 2.5-inch louvers. These are currently the Tab Performance zombie baffles. I've modified the zombie baffles and used torque cones from DK Customs, and right now I have Vance and Hines louvered baffles inside of the zombie baffles. So if you have the opinion that I'm just giving up on the M8 without trying to make it sound differently for my personal taste, you're wrong. So I'm gonna cut off the video here, and when I get to the Harley dealership, I'll turn it back on for the bike that I'm interested in checking out, possibly riding, possibly trading in on. There's two. So here is contender number 1. This is a 2017 Softail Slim. It's got the 103 high output motor in it. Talking to the dealership, and they said that somebody had purchased this at their dealership in 2017 brand new with the idea that they were going to ride with their spouse. It was a woman that bought it. They ended up splitting up or something, and she never rode it. So this bike has 400 miles. 2017 Softail Slim with 400 miles on it. Has a set of Bluetooth speakers, the Boom Audio from Harley, windshield, some kind of push forward seat that would have to go. I don't know if this is factory or not, but it's on there too. 400 miles. Stock headers. Looks like a Bassani exhaust, or yeah, I think it's Bassani. 400 miles. I mean, that's, the paint's immaculate. There's nothing wrong with the paint at all. But you can tell it hasn't been ridden. It's been sitting in a garage. Got some cleanup on the primary cover. Pretty much everything that's not like painted needs cleaned up quite a bit or replaced. I could see this with some maybe 12-inch apes or something. Kick me back, different seat, different exhaust. But 400 miles, I mean, really? I like the Slims. The Slims needed a fatter tire. That's just what my opinion, but I guess that's why it's called the Slim. Go ahead and turn it on. I've been riding with it for, I don't know, 10 miles or so, getting a feel for the bike. Handles really well. Can't complain about the handling of this bike at all. Sounds well. This has a fly-by-wire, which is okay. I prefer the dual cables, but yeah, it's neither here or there. Sounds good. It has that 103 sound to it. So we'll go for a small ride together, and I'll show you. This also has the foot or the heel shifter, and that would probably have to go if I purchase this. But I can see some being pushed back a little with a different seat, some bigger bars. But the paint, for black paint, there is no scratches whatsoever. It looks like it was just made at Harley. Like I said, it's got Boom Audio stuff, which I wouldn't use. The bike is my radio. I don't need music to enjoy my ride. Sounds really nice though. For factory headers, it's got a good sound to it. It pulls like a 103. Nothing to write home about, but it's not slow either. This is a nice little area. Some really decent turns, so you can get an idea for how the bike's going to handle. It's got a decent lean angle. Like I said, it sounds really good. I've got a full face helmet on, and I can still hear the bike, so I mean, that's a good thing for me. This is the sounds that I'm after. I've been talking about in my earlier videos. It's just that. I don't know. If you've ridden a twin cam versus an M8, you would understand. If not, you may not understand. Looks like I got a couple of dogs I need to watch out for up here after this turn. Dogs instinctively like to chase motorcycles. Kind of got to be careful about them. This is a nice ride. This is a nice ride. My only caveat with this is I've got a 103 high output motor, the same as this, as in Heritage in my garage. And by the time I would make this my own, different bars, maybe something to put my stuff in. It's already got this windshield on there. It's basically the Heritage. So is it worth the investment of getting a Softail Slim? Although 400 miles and the paint is just gorgeous on this, I don't know. I don't think so. I think this would make a superb bike for somebody. You know, I'm 5'10". I fit on this very comfortably. I could probably ride this mostly all day. Floorboards are nice. But it's like I said, it's basically a stripped down Heritage. Oh, that sound though. That sounds beautiful. So yeah, I don't think this is for me. I am so appreciative that the Harley dealership, I was listening to this. Oh, it sounds so nice. The Harley dealership trusts me to just come in, pretty much pick a bike and leave. They don't have to ride with me like they do other people. They know who I am. I've been doing business with them for so long. They just give me the keys and say, go ahead. You know, just don't put 200 miles on it. Yeah, this is not the bike I was telling you about that they brought down from Michigan for me to look at. This is just, I wanted, before I got excited about that other bike, which is my whole purpose of going up there for, I wanted something to compare it against, because I don't intend on leaving with my M8. You know, if I do, it's not going to hurt my feelings. I'll continue to look, but I don't intend to. Okay, YouTubes, here is my second option. This is the bike that they brought down from Michigan for me. This is a 2015 Breakout 103. These are awesome looking bikes. This is Harley's attempt at the choppers. They noticed that everybody was starting to make chopper bikes and they wanted to get into that market. Huge 240 size tire on the rear. I believe it's a 130. Yeah, 130 in the front. The trick to these bikes to make them handle better is get different pegs and then change this 130 to a 120/70 tire. It'll raise it up about 1/4 of an inch, giving you more ground clearance, and it just handles better. These are bikes that is not for everybody. They have to be very deliberate in the turns. They don't handle well in twisties, but that's not the way I ride, and where I live it's mainly flat ground, so it's not like I'm canyon carving or anything. I've been on this bike for about 10 minutes and I love it. I absolutely love this bike. I could see myself putting on some 12-inch apes, kind of sit up a little more straight, but there's not much I would do to this. Just stage one, maybe put a 110 kit in it later. Like I said, 2015. It has one flaw that I can find. I've been nitpicking for the last several minutes before I turned on the GoPro, and everything's pretty much flawless on this bike, except whoever had it had a tie down strap on it, and there's one little piece that I need to touch up. It looks like it's just barely through the clear coat. So a touch-up pen, a little bit of sanding would make that look brand new. Other than that, the paint is flawless, besides that one little spot. The chrome on everything looks amazing. Nothing's pitted. I looked for oil leaks. I could not find anything of that nature. Tires look immaculate, because this bike only has less than 1,500 miles on it. 1,432. So this is barely broken in. So let's go for a ride and we'll see how she handles with you as YouTube. Right now it's extremely quiet, obviously because it's stock. Everything about this is stock. I have some pipes at home that would fit this already and make it look really nice. Man, just the sound of the 103. That mechanical sound, I love it. Like I said, I'm not going to be able to go through these turns up here very heavy. That's not what this bike is designed for. Beautiful. None of this is scratched up. This paint's pretty. It's Superior Blue, and it has like a flake in it. I don't know if you can catch it on camera or not in the sun, but it's a flaky blue. Fits me really well. I'm really not forward controlled like I am on my Dyna. The forward controls of this are nice. I could ride this all day. Just sit up a little higher with some different bars and I'd be good to go. It's got okay power for a stock 103 that even doesn't have a stage 1 on it. You know what, we're gonna go this way this time. I've never been down this road. No windshield, but I can put one on it. Some people prefer not to have a windshield. I generally don't ride with a full face helmet, and I don't like all the wind pushed into my eyes. My eyes start watering up, it makes it hard to see. So I prefer personally to have a windshield. It's a nice area. I mean, for that big beefy tire, it doesn't handle too bad. This would have an amazing sound with the right exhaust. We'll go... What's no outlet mean? Oh, I think that means dead end. Alright, well, now I know what that means. Let's see how it is. I'm not going to try to do a U-turn the way I would normally do it, but yeah, it's got pretty crappy turning radius, but a 35-degree front end with the rake, it's not going to turn exceptionally well. Well, that's still not bad. This is enough to get me going. Yeah, this is very comfortable. If I could get my hands up to like this, I could ride this for a long time. My back's bent over a little bit, but my knee position and my leg position, extremely comfortable. Like I said, I'm 5'10", but I'm more leg than I am torso. So I've got long legs for my size. Let's get into RPMs and see where I'm at. 40 miles an hour when I'm sitting on. Come on. 2100 RPM. I can hear the grunt when I get on it. This would sound really good with some pipes. Here's some pretty sharp turns. We can see how she does. Like I said, I'm going to take these pretty slow for now. Yeah, it doesn't want to lean over very well, but with that 240 size tire, it's not going to. This is, like I said, a deliberate bike. You have to know what you're wanting to do. But as I mentioned, most of the way I ride, how I ride, where I ride, doesn't have sharp turns. I bet I can probably scrape these pegs if I really wanted to. It leans more than I thought. I've not scraped yet. I leaned pretty far over and I didn't scrape, so. But also with that big tire, it makes you feel confident. You're not going to slip out of it. There's a lot of meat back there to hold onto the road. Yeah, sitting back like this, I would be super happy. I don't think it would take much too. 10-inch bars, 12-inch bars, something like that. There, my feet touched a little bit on the ground, but that was an uncomfortable angle for me. I wouldn't ride that way anyway. Yeah, nice, plenty of get up for me. Not nearly as fast as my 114, but it's not going to be. This is only a 103, so displacement itself is low. And then it doesn't have a cam in it. But if I were to take this to a 110 with a different cam, as light as this bike is compared to the Road King Special, I could get this thing moving. Even at 40 miles an hour, I can still maneuver around pretty easily. I ride a lot in the country. This would be a lot of fun. It's not bumpy on my butt. It seems to be taking little potholes or things I'm running over well. I tell you what, I'm sitting here thinking, if I were to not get this bike today and I let it go and said, you know, I'll think about it and I'll come back, how upset would I be if I came back and it was sold already? 2015 Breakout with 1,500 miles. Darn near perfect paint minus one spot that I can fix pretty easy. You know, I think I would be disappointed. I know I would be. I would want to ride this bike some more. It's got the dual throttle cables like I like. A non-hydraulic clutch. It's just your basic Harley Davidson. It's got I handled those bumps pretty good. That's another good size. Oh yeah. That wasn't bad at all. Some nice cruising. Try and get up to some speed, see how it feels. There's 70 miles an hour. Feels good. I can let off. Of course, that big tire wants to stay upright, but yeah, it doesn't feel not safe or anything. 60 miles an hour, which is basically where I like to ride. Yeah, my legs aren't touching the tank. They have a nice, good feel to them. Back brakes work well. At 30 miles an hour. Like I said, it's not going to fly me off the seat, but this is... Oh, good engine braking. Your typical cruiser. It's not designed to fly you off the seat. Low speed maneuverability is really nice on this. Front brake feels good. It's the same spot I had trouble last time. All of them are red. What the hell am I supposed to do? I'm just going. And again, you got to be pretty deliberate with your turns. Let's see it if I can take this at speed. Oh, I'm barely even leaned over. Plenty of room. another one that has a good leaning angle. I'm at almost 50 miles an hour. It's handling well to counter steering. Oh yeah. Very nice. For such a big tire in the back, it's handling the bumps extremely well. Of course, this is a Softail, so it has a hardtail look with a soft ride to it. Or more of a soft, cushiony ride. The motor sounds really nice. Doesn't have that airy whine sound to it like the high outputs do. Let's see if I can. Oh yeah. Very nice. Nice pull, got around that car. All the controls are within my reach. Sit back at 60 miles an hour. Cruise. Yeah, this is great. I think this is what I was missing from my Harley collection that we got going on. Got a Dyna, Breakout, my dad's Heritage. See if I can take this a little sharp. Oh yeah, not a problem. No problem at all. Have plenty of room too. Very nice. Very nice. Well, I'm gonna head back and maybe round up some numbers with them. Which reminds me of my Fat Bob that I bought back in 2016 that I missed so much. Very similar characteristics to it. Look at that. Didn't even come close to scraping yet. Alright, YouTubes, here she is. 2015 Harley Breakouts. I just got home from Harley and it now has 1,476 miles. Which is nothing. Nothing for a motorcycle. I'm so happy. This beautiful bike. Now mine. While I was at the Harley shop, I ordered some Chromeworks 14-inch bars and all the cabling that I need to go with it. I got the swing arm bag so I could put my stuff in it. I ordered an Arlen-ness air filter, Bassani sweeper exhaust. I already have a Power Vision, so I'll just get the licensing and so I can tune it. I got big plans for this bike. It's gonna be awesome. So thanks for going on that journey with me today of maybe seeing what I could find to trade in the Road King. And I picked up this beauty. I'm so excited. So thanks again for going with me. Again, as always, do what you do. Make videos so I have something to watch. Deuces.